Logitech and Playseat have joined forces to give us an all-new version of the already released Playseat Trophy, now sporting the Logitech G branding as well as a new colour scheme in grey and cyan. The original Playseat Trophy was released in January 2022, and it boasted a sturdy and direct drive ready frame with a frameless Actifit seat. One of the strap lines of the Playseat Trophy was that it was perfect from the casual console racer all the way up to the elite sim racer, with the ease of being able to slide it up in front of a telly, but the sturdiness to be able to take any direct drive wheel or high-end pedal set. It was available in black with two seat colour options, red and black or black and white, whereas now with the Logitech G Edition we have an all-new colour scheme, grey and cyan with the Logitech branding. Now that all sounds excellent, however we haven't had the chance to get our hands on the Playseat Trophy yet, and that's why you're watching, because this is our first opportunity to give you our opinion. This is not a sponsor review, however Logitech and Playseat did send us this very unit here for us to test for free. For our full review policy, please visit the link in the description, and while you're there, consider subscribing. When we first took delivery of the Playseat Trophy Logitech G Edition, I was initially very surprised as to how light it was, even including the box. At 17 kilos on its own, I was able to bring it upstairs and unbox it up here on my own. And that's a massive selling point if this is strong enough to hold a direct drive wheel as they suggest, because most rigs that we use with direct drive wheels are massive, they're chunky, they're heavy, and a lot of sim racers will have dedicated spaces for that. However, for the casual sim racer or console racer, you just want something you can slide in front of the telly. Or alternatively, there are elite sim racers out there that just don't have the space to have a dedicated rig, like Dave Cam for example. In some of the marketing bump we were sent along with the Playseat Trophy Logitech G Edition, we'd seen some examples of people that actually hung it on a wall out of the way in their living room. And that's an example of how useful this lightweight design can be. Also, this product was well packaged. Everything in the box was in its own plastic bags, and it was all perfect straight from the box. Another major plus of the Playseat Trophy is its simple design. There was only about 10 separate components, which means that I put it together in about an hour. And although I've put a fair few sim rigs together in my time, even the softest of sim racing hands could probably put this together on your own in a couple of hours with tea breaks. And good news for you soft hand sim racers out there is it comes with a pair of white cotton gloves just for you. Isn't that nice? The instructions included in the box are simple and easy to follow. There are pictorial diagrams for every stage, and there's also an online video to accompany this. There's only one small thing that I found in the instructions that was different to how I actually had to build it, and that was a lumbar support strap. Although Logitech and Playseat have assured me that when it's released, this will be rectified. Now onto the seat, which technically isn't a seat on its own. It's made up of one piece of sewn polyurethane leather, breathable fabric and Velcro, wrapped around and integrated as part of the frame. Very clever. But before I built it, I was a little skeptical as to how sturdy and strong this would be, especially with a strong direct drive wheel and a load cell set of pedals. But in reality, I've actually found it to be stronger and stiffer than some of the other products in the same price range from brands such as GT Omega, Next Level Racing and Track Racer. The seat only comes in one size, but it has more than enough space for most users. One part of the seat which I really like is the lumbar support strap that straps around the back, which is rock solid. I really like it, and so does my spine. Not only does the seat feel comfortable, but also it looks great, and of course has the Logitech G branding on it for all you Logitech stands out there. Rich, we're talking to you. For adjustability of the rig to suit your own driving position and size, you have four main options. You have the pedal deck, which has 4 thumb screws, which you can easily slide up and down, forward and backwards. You then have the wheel deck, which using 4 hex bolts you can adjust the angle of, and this is also reversible to move the wheel further away from you. You also have the seat angle, which has 2 telescopic poles, which you can just undo with some hex nuts and adjust the angle to go from a GT style to a Formula style driving position. And then also you have telescopic parts on the frame itself, which lengthens the whole chassis. Now, I'm a short king myself, so I locked it straight in at the shortest setting, adjusted the pedals and the wheel deck, and I was good to go. There is no instant adjustment by way of seat sliders or ratchets or anything like that, but moving all of these sections is not that difficult. And also, even though I locked it in at the shortest possible setting, my friend and colleague Cam, who is some sort of human giraffe crossbreed, jumped in to have a quick go on the settings that I had. We moved the pedal plate away and he was pretty much good to go. So this rig can fit almost all of the population, I'm certain of it. The seat back itself doesn't automatically fold forward to save space. You can fully undo the bolts on the side seat adjusters, which would allow the seat back to come all the way forward for storage. The wheel deck itself is made of 5mm steel and comes pre-drilled. It's compatible with all of the major brands, and the holes for the Logitech products are usefully highlighted with a white circle. A nice little touch. We had absolutely no issue, of course, mounting our Logitech G Pro wheel, as well as the Fanatec CSL DD. Although the Thrustmaster T818 with its adjustable base plate only had 2 holes that lined up straight away. So if that's a problem for you, you might need to drill a couple more. Retailing at £529 here in the UK, this rig goes directly against the Prime Lite from GT Omega, the FGT and the GT Elite Lite from Next Level Racing, as well as some lower end aluminium profile rigs from a brand of your choice. The quality and aesthetics of this rig far surpass anything else in its price range, and it's a genuinely good looking rig, and I'd be proud to have this in my home. It looks far less utilitarian than any of its aluminium profile rivals, and the smooth curves and round tubes are easy on the eye. Its strength in terms of its sleek design is also potentially its weakness in terms of versatility. With limited peripheral customizability and no way to add monitors as a single unit, the lack of modification options of this rig potentially means it won't be for everyone. I've fired up in iRacing in just the GT3 fixed, and of course, as you can see, I'm using the Logitech G Pro wheel and the G Pro pedals, which are just out of shot. And while using the rig, I can really feel no appreciable difference in stiffness or rigidity of the wheel deck or the pedal deck or the seat really, compared to what I'm used to at home. And I have a SimLab GT1 Evo at home, an aluminium profile rig. And in the studio, we also use a Next Level Racing aluminium profile rig as well. And to be honest, the stiffness is just as good, especially with the wheel deck. I mean, I'm sure you can see I'm running iRacing at basically maximum force feedback. I've set it to max force feedback at 10 or 11 Newton meters in the G hub, and I'm sure you can see I can't feel any flex in the wheel deck, but I'm sure you can see that there's very little flex. Same with the pedal plate. I'm running a pretty heavy setting on the brake pedal here on the G Pro pedals, and I'm sure on any other pedal that you put on this, you'd feel exactly the same. I'm feeling absolutely no flex whatsoever. As long as you've got the telescopic side bits nice and tight so the rig doesn't actually flex backwards and forwards, then it's completely solid. As for the chair itself, it's actually very, very stiff. Despite the fact it not being a real chair, it's not got any full material at the back. It's just held together basically by Velcro and around the frame. The lumbar support strap really gives you a good level of stiffness and support right where you need it. I'm not feeling like the seat is stretching. I can't feel it move. It's actually a very comfortable seat. I'd be very happy to sit here and do an endurance race, for example. When I first tested this out, when I first built it, I was excited to try it out, and I was in the rig for over an hour and felt no discomfort whatsoever. It's also really easy to adjust the seat and the lumbar support just on the fly, basically. It's just a strap at the back, just reach behind you while you're sitting in the seat, loosen it off, tighten it up, move it down to your own body, and really, really easy to use, to be honest. Having had a look back at the footage I've taken so far of this rig while in use, and having a look at some of the colleagues here at Traxion that we've all had a go, the only flex you can really see in this rig is an ever so slight up and down movement of the wheel deck itself and the arms, but it's so minor that, I mean, you definitely can't feel it while driving. I haven't noticed it, no one else that's used it has noticed it either, and you can probably see it's ever so minor. It's not detracting at all, and to be honest, the amount of movement is less than you get from most wheel assembly units, maybe the base or the quick release systems or even the wheel itself. So yeah, it all feels about as solid as I can expect from any rig really. Aside from the driving, it's one of the easiest and most comfortable rigs to get in and out of that I've used. It feels very, very natural, very easy to just slide on down into the seat, and to get out is one of the easiest rigs I've ever used. Despite the fact that we're being close to the ground, it's quite a reclined GT style driving position. The fact that you've got nothing alongside your shins or your knees, you've got the open edges, you just pull your feet out either side and then kind of effectively just straddle the rig and then stand up and walk out, and it's really useful to just jump in and out of. One of the main downsides of a tubular design rig such as this is the lack of infinite adjustability you get from some aluminium profile rigs. The fact that you can't just bolt on a button box or a gear shifter wherever you want is a downside for some. Although Playseat do sell an aftermarket handbrake and gear shifter mount, which mounts on the side, either side, and I believe that's available for $49 or £49. Currently out of stock, but I'm sure they'll have more of those in stock soon, so you do have that option. This rig has absolutely no lack of stiffness, which is a big strength, and of course it means that it is direct drive wheel compatible, as you can see, but it does transfer the sound and the vibrations from either your steering wheel or pedals or whatever directly through to the floor very well due to the tubular design. And I was getting some complaints from my colleagues here at Traxion when I was trying it out earlier on today, when I was specifically in the Indy car at Sebring. I had a quick go to see if it was a match for that, and I felt like it was doing great, but unfortunately it was transferring a lot of the sound to the floor, and that's definitely a consideration for some of you, maybe if you're going to be using it in flats for people below you or upstairs or just anywhere that the sound from your sim rig might be transferred to other people and cause a bit of a nuisance. So yeah, if you're in that sort of situation, it's a very stiff rig, but just consider maybe getting some rubber feet or a mat or something, because the only thing that's included in the Playseat Trophy Logitech G Edition's box is a couple of strips of Velcro that stop it scratching the floor, which don't do anything really for stopping that sound transferring to the floor. The Playseat Trophy Logitech G Edition is a truly great rig, and I've been so impressed with it at every stage of this review. As a standalone product, I don't really have a bad word to say about it. It's taken every direct drive wheel we've thrown at it, it's lightweight, it's easy to use, it was easy to build, you can move it around, it's portable, and in my opinion, it looks gorgeous. However, for some, this is not the whole story. From the dedicated hobbyist to the elite sim racer, some will rue the lack of infinite adjustability, customizability, and modability of this rig compared to other different designs on the market at the same price point. But I suppose this rig fills a completely different spot in the market to any of the aluminium profile examples. It's just not designed with any of that in mind. If you're in the market for an easy to build, sleek, stylish, sturdy, and comfortable direct drive ready rig, then this is an excellent option for you. And yes, it's not cheap, but in this case, you do get what you pay for. And everything that Playseat have said in their marketing material, I completely agree with. The Playseat Trophy Logitech G Edition really shows what happens when two of the biggest players in this industry come together on a product. And I really hope this means more amazing products to come in the future. Thanks once again to Playseat and Logitech for sending us this unit to review. If you have enjoyed the video, consider giving us a like and make sure you're subscribed for all the reviews we've got coming up soon. But until then, thanks for watching, and as always, keep it pinned.